My name is Howie Horowitz, and I've been using the Neuma 4 for a little over a year now. My style of tattooing, it goes from anywhere from, kind of basic traditional Americana to realism. Illustrative, I'd say, was my main thing that I'm into. I like drawing, I like using my brain like that. When I'm doing illustrative work, I would say that it definitely, starts with the outline, like most tattoos do. But then I'm building line weight. I like to give different layers to the tattoo so that it pops on different layers as well. You could look at it from one angle or another angle and you'll see it jump out at you. That's kind of my thing. I like to just make bold tattoos that really stand out. So as far as the Neuma 4 goes, for me personally, and the style that I do most, which is illustrative work, it's literally an all-in-one machine for me. It does everything I need. And we can start at the outline. Whether I'm doing a simple outline for a portrait that's just really very light and just kind of, blocking in those shapes, or I'm doing a real detailed outline on something, super, big and illustrative, which requires a lot of hard lines and all that type of stuff. It's great. It lines exactly what I need. I could build line weight, I could do my fine lines. I'll use a bug pin 3, and then I'll use an 18 round shader to line, or a 14 round standard, or something along those lines. And that spectrum is so broad when you think about it. This machine's doing it all. So I can literally turn down to 6.8 or 6.9 for a real fine line needle and just crank the needle out so I can see it nicely and just guide my needle around. Crank it up a little bit. I don't really run it too hot even when I'm doing my bold lines. I've found that somewhere between 7.1 and 7.5 seems to be the sweet spot for me. And then moving on from there into blending and saturation, all that stuff. It literally does everything I want. I'm currently pretty in love with 3.6, 20%. That's my go-to. It's the stock cam, but I love it. I've messed with all the cams. Some of them I like better for other things, and sometimes I'll double up on machines, for certain, just depends on the tattoo. But for all intents and purposes, I'm telling you, the 3.6 at 20% for me is it. It doesn't get any better than that. It's just well-rounded. It gives me every tool I need in one machine, and I can't complain with that. There's no way to beat that. For everyday usage, again, I'm still using the OG grip. So the smaller diameter machine casing with the larger memory foam grip on it, for me, that's as good as it gets. I can tattoo all day like that, no problem. I was using coils to do all my line work with and everything, because nothing lines like a coil. Everybody knows that. But my hands just can't take it anymore, it got to a point where I'm I can't do it. And my outlines are very labor intensive. They're hours sometimes. So by the time I'm done, I'm I gotta take a half hour, literally just to get my hands back to normal, just rest. How does the Neuma 4 compare to other pens that I've used? It blows them out of the water. There's no comparison. This machine hits like a coil. It hits like a coil machine. That's the thing. That's one of the major selling points for me was just the fact that I can line with this thing and I don't get splits in my lines, or there's no breaks or cracks. You don't see it's a consistent flowing line that lines like a coil machine. It's crazy to me. I was blown away instantly. The minute I tried it, the first tattoo I did with it, I think I did some heavy lines on it. And like I said, I'm adding a lot of line weight to my stuff. So if I have a machine that's going to be able to power all my fine lines, all my bold lines, anything in between, and do all my shading, all my color packing, saturating, blending, everything in one machine, it's no-brainer. Just no-brainer. Simple. Alex, yeah. Sounds goodish. That was fun. Ah.